MSB here, and Hexers have just received some amazing news! Chark, the economy-maintaining, money-measuring Minotaur, made it official. HEX is being released on Steam! On the Steam game page, it is showing the current release date as this month, and it's been said release could be as early as next week. There has been a lot of good discussion on the HEX forums about this topic, and the developers are listening, even going so far as to take suggestions on how best to appeal to the Steam audience by modifying the game description and tags. So if you have an opinion, now is the time to voice it by clicking on the link in the description below. So far, the responses have been mostly positive, and I agree. This is a solid move that HEX Entertainment has finally pulled the trigger on. But choosing to pull the trigger always generates trepidation, and this time is no different. So what does this mean for HEX? Well, this should give us a nice influx of new players who will have varying experiences, ranging from abject hatred to utter adoration. Obviously, we'll have to hope the majority falls into the latter category. Regardless, the people who love it will grow their user base, and the people who don't might still help overall by giving new player feedback that helps to sculpt future game changes. I understand the concerns that have been raised in the forum thread about the onboarding process, but I feel that HEX has stronger than average community support, as evidenced by channels like mine, Aaron Squire, Mocog, and more, websites like 5 Shards, HEX Primal, HEX Price, and more, and Twitch streamers like Infamous Neo, Pentachills, and, you guessed it, more. Plus, there's the official HEX Twitch channel with daily content, and I'm sure a slew of other HEX content producers that, if they're watching this, are saying, WTF MSB, why no shout out for me? I love you and I'm sorry. This is flung together in the 5 hours before I crashed from exhaustion at 2 AM. Point being that while there are always positives and negatives when a decision like this is made, I agree with HEX when they say that the positives outweigh the negatives, and this is the time to do it. Chark said it best when he posted, "Bad reviews are always a fear, but at some point, we have to have some faith in the product." The game that you and I love needs to be able to stand on its own. We can't wait for it to have everything. That might sound shallow, but it's true. If people can see the greatness this game has to offer, even in its feature-incomplete, rough-around-the-edges state, they'll stay. Sure, they may take breaks, long ones even, but they'll stay. Remember to dial back the drama too, because this also isn't a make-or-break situation. HEX won't suddenly vanish if it gets a lukewarm Steam reception. I mean, look at this channel. When I started, I was terrible. Now around 1,000 of you have been nice enough to say, hey, you're okay, with a sub. Same goes with HEX. New people will find this game on Steam for years to come, and, regardless of negative reviews, will try it out. That ongoing exposure is worth it. I think the best game to compare my opinion on what will happen to HEX's Steam client is Warframe, which started out with very limited gameplay features, but still listened to its user base while it waxed and waned. Eventually, more and more people stuck to the game as it got better and better, and now it's huge! That's what I think HEX is aiming for. Decent initial reception and a large player base that generates free advertising with periodic discovery by new players. Yes, these new players will likely need veteran players to provide guidance, while the new player experience continues to have ongoing improvements, but that's what HEX's community has always been good at, and the smart folks at HEX Ent know that. I want to know how you feel about this move, so leave a comment in this video or on the official forums post in the link below, because it's an exciting time for HEX and you get to weigh in. Thanks for watching. If you haven't already, please take the time to subscribe to my not as terrible as it used to be channel, and as always, I'm MSB wishing you good games and good times.